Hello and welcome to or back to my channel. So I received a request on my Fresh and Fit / Rebecca video to look at Kevin Samuel's The Godfather monologue. And I did. And I don't know who you are, CW, but I think you owe me money. So I have kind of heard of Kevin Samuels, but I wasn't entirely sure who he was. So I did a bit of Googling. And I have to say, if I looked at his website and nothing else, I would come away with a very different impression of who this man is. So on the front page of his website, it says, "We are the premier image consultancy designed exclusively for men who want an upgrade on their appearance. From shopping to grooming, suits to shorts, streets to the boardroom, we help great guys look and feel their best. Don't let fear of the unknown stop you from making a great change in your life." So he offers personal image consulting and corporate image consulting. And also, so on the corporate, corporate and business, executive workshops, staff workshops, individual and group coaching, and keynote speaking. Want an interactive, fun, enlivening keynote speaker that will have your group talking for months to come? I just wonder, what would he tell the women in the audience? Would he encourage them to all quit to go get married? I'm so curious as to how that would work. And I'm also pretty sure at some point in here we go. Under the FAQ section, who is your typical client? There is no typical client. We have worked with males and females ages 18 to 80 in all career fields and levels, including doctors, executives, entertainers, scientists, single mothers, and students. So he works with everyone, but he seems to have a low opinion of women. And I just wonder how that comes off in his everyday life, or I wonder if he adopts that attitude just for his channels to make more money, since sadly shitting on women is a great way to make money on YouTube. And I mean, he does have his social media linked on his website. And if I go to that, I mean, he does have his YouTube linked there. And if I go to his YouTube, are they taking good high value men? What modern women are worth it? Modern women really want men on their level. Why can't modern women handle the truth? Single mothers, high-value men, and marriage. Do modern women need to be independent? Modern women issues with men? Modern women beware. Are modern women afraid of relationships and marriage? Modern women scare their daughters? Modern mothers raise single women or wives. Are modern women really happy? What are modern women getting wrong about power, money, and men? What is with the focus on modern women? Are we not all modern women if we're alive right now? Anyway, yeah, that just gives a totally different, two different sides of the same person. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all the insightful, thoughtful comments I'll be getting on this video that I'm sure will be, not insulting at all, and I'm sure will only be from people who have watched my video in full. Anyway, let's get into it.
Do women gain value with time?
I say yes, but the only reason men ask this question, and some women to be fair, is because they want to say no.
And this is a question that seems to a lot of modern women seem to have a lot of problems with.
So I'm just trying to imagine telling a 15-year-old girl, enjoy it now, honey, because as you get older, your worth is less and less. And then telling her same age brother, it's fine, do whatever you want, because as you get older, your worth grows. How does that make for a healthy, happy society?
Are you gaining value with time? I asked this question when I was on Instagram Live the other day. Name me a product on the market that gains value, that increases in value as it ages and gets used.
So for anyone who's wondering why I'm a feminist in 2021, it's because of people like him who continue to equate women to objects. Women are not things. We are people. We have thoughts, feelings, emotions. We have a full range of human experience. It is not only reserved for men.
And woman after woman after woman could not answer the question. Why?
Maybe they didn't realize they were watching a misogynist, and they didn't know that they were the object because, women don't usually think of themselves as objects.
What product gains value as it gets used and ages?
What does he mean by getting used? Does he mean have sex? Do men not get used as time goes by? Do their bodies not get worn down with age?
And the reality is nothing. Nothing on the market that you know or I know gains value as it ages and gets used.
Yeah, most women won't think of themselves as an it. Weird. It's like we think we're people.
And this is something that modern women are having to deal with and grapple with because so many women have been told what I talked about Monday. to delay relationship, family, and everything else, go out there and get a career, this, that, and a third. And then when you decide you want to, you can all of a sudden just go decide to pick a man off the high value tree and go make a successful, happy family. That's not true.
I'm sorry, does he think women only do what they're told?
I want to, and obviously this subject is triggering a lot of people.
Yes, but not for the reason he thinks.
No matter how I say it, no matter how I slice it, no matter how PC I try to get with it, women over 30 have a problem with this. But ladies, this is evolutionary biology. You can't argue with what men want.
So, all men want the same thing?
So I need to ask the ladies a question. Why do you ladies feel like you gain in value as you age?
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but personally, my teenage self was a bit of a nightmare. And that is why I think I'm a better person now than I was when I was, say, 15.
Well, Kevin, why are you saying that women feel this way? I know plenty of women who don't feel this way. Really? Well, I'm going to tell you that women on this show, on this platform, will get on here night after night after night and tell you how now that they're older, have more experience and more wisdom, their desires, what they want from a man has improved, has increased.
So, yes, when I was 15, I had no requirements for dating because I had never been on a date. And now I do. I would like someone with good hygiene who's able to support themselves. And considering I do the same, even though I'm but a mere car woman, I don't think that's too much to ask. And also, having no requirements is not a good thing. That is how you get into trouble.
As if their value has increased.
So, I'm going to assume he does not think that people in general have inherent value. What happens at whatever age he thinks a woman loses her value? What happens to her? Should she just commit suicide because she's of no value to society anymore? Does he think women have nothing else to live for but marriage and having kids and looking good to men? I mean, I really don't understand this way of thinking, and the more I see, the less I understand it, because it all is based on a notion that women are not people.
And ladies, your value does not increase with age.
Thanks, random man I've never met.
What do men value in a woman? Men across the board value a woman's femininity, her femininity, her fitness, her friendliness, her femininity, her cooperation, her submissiveness. Also, her purity and her womb.
Her purity and her womb? I want to laugh, cry, and vomit. So I guess men that don't want kids men always know their own mind, so they must truly not want kids. But are they of less value because of that? They can't be in denial because, again, men always know their own minds. But from the relationships I've seen, I've never entered my mind that someone's boyfriend only valued them for their womb or their purity. Especially once you get to a certain age, it just kind of stops mattering, unless apparently you're Kevin Samuels, in which case it will always matter, even when you're 70.
If you've already had a child, take off the womb. It's already been used to bring forth life for another man.
So today I learned that a child belongs to its father, but its mother was essentially just like a disembodied womb, only there to create it, sustain it, and then give birth to it, and then be discarded because it's already been used. It's like, chewing gum, gross. You don't want to use that womb again,
If you've not had children but had lots of partners, the purity thing is down. The more relationships you've been in, it's like mileage.
And again, women are still not cars. Thank you.
You can call it damage, but the reality is this. Far too many women think because they go to college or start earning more money that makes them more valuable.
More valuable than what? Our past selves? Then yes, I would agree with that. I don't necessarily think someone has to go to college to be more valuable than their past selves because, as you live, life has a way of giving you experiences that help you grow as a person, and college does not have to be part of that growth. This is the part that makes me think that these types of men want women with very little life experience, so they can't tell when they're being treated badly because they have nothing else to compare it to.
And the question is, ladies, do you really believe you gain value as you age?
Again, yes. I'm thinking he doesn't know how eagerly some women look forward to no longer having to deal with periods. But I'm also not concerned about how valuable men find me. So maybe that is why I have such a high opinion of myself to think I'm like a fully actualized human. Craziness.
Ladies, do you believe you gain value as you age?
How many times do I have to answer the same question?
And if so, why? Why do you believe you gain value when you age if no one else in the world, if the rest of the world does not work that way?
So I think I've already mentioned that my younger self was kind of terrible, and it was getting out in the world and meeting people and having certain experiences that helped me gain empathy and other such valuable skills. He said no one, so now I'm wondering if he also thinks that men lose value with time.
See, and here's something that tends to happen. When women say, well, wait a minute, as a man ages and gets more wisdom, more experience, and makes more money, his value goes up. Yes, it is a double standard.
Oh, okay. So that's a no then on men also losing value as they age.
And it will never be fair. It's always been that way for men. As we get older, more experience and wisdom and earning and resources, our value goes up. This is why you ladies should stop trying to move through life like men.
So we should like stop having jobs?
Trying to get men to value, trying to get men to accept you and your PhD. I'm a PhD.
Well, I don't have a PhD, but I still want to be valued as a person.
And trying to bring that to the table as if it counts as much as being 23 years old, a dress size 4 with a nice tight package and a low body count, feminine, friendly, cooperative,
It sounds like he's going to start a fertility cult.
hot,
So if a woman is not born hot and she can't afford surgery to become hot, what then? Does she have no value to society at all?
and a fresh college graduate
Are 23-year-old college graduates different from other 23-year-olds?
who went to the prom and had one boyfriend. She is a far better candidate.
For a 25-year-old, yes. For a 45-year-old, no.
Now I know there are plenty of women that be like, well, there's somebody out there for everybody. No. Let me go ahead and dash those hopes too. No, there is not.
Would it blow his mind to know that not everyone wants to be in a relationship?
If every man got married, if every available black man, if every single black man got married, there would still be 2 million more black women left. And that's regardless. Women outnumber men in every race. If every man got married, there would still be a surplus of women.
So I guess it would blow his mind to know that, one, not all women want to get married, and two, not all women are into men.
In China, these women are called leftovers.
And in China, the equivalent for men is bare branches or leftover men. I would also like to note that it's 2021. We no longer have to get our worth from who we marry or if we marry.
And why do I use these kind of words? Because they need to be used.
Never forget, ladies, you're nothing if you're not married.
This is a problem in the West. Women do not gain value as they age.
And you're telling us this out of the goodness of your heart?
Age drops your value. Children drops your value. Weight drops your value. Masculinity drops your value. So while people may think it's superficial to judge women based upon their looks, I'm sorry. That is an absolutely asinine and ridiculous position to hold, and it goes in direct opposition to the psychology of assortative mating and the science and the biology, evolutionary biology. Science and academia is against you.
I think it would blow his mind to know that some women wrote a book celebrating menopause. I will link that below.
It's not an opinion. Science and academia is against you.
Dude, I realized a long time ago that we all eventually get old and die. You are not saying anything new or groundbreaking.
Women were told that you could delay this and it would not matter. Well, you're starting to see what happens. That no, ma'am. You at 35 should still be asking for a man that you could have got at 21. That's right. At 35 years old, you should.
I can't think of any standards I had at 21 or 35 that were super crazy. Or rare, for that matter. Although I suppose he would say that given my current age, I should just feel lucky if any man looks at me, let alone dates me. So this is what he does when the likes and dislikes aren't high enough. I'll be cutting the rest of this interlude out.
Like it or not, this is how it works, ladies. You cannot ask for more when you are less.
So if I'm into a 45-year-old man and he skips me for the 25-year-old woman, that's fine. Everyone has their own preferences, what they're looking for, whatever. But I do have a problem with someone saying that women are worth less as they age and also telling other men to look at women that way. No matter what Kevin here says, the average 50-year-old man is not going to get a 20-year-old woman. So essentially, he's creating a perpetual customer for himself because then these men are going to wonder why these women aren't into them and they're going to look to Kevin for advice as to what they could do to improve, and it'll keep happening and they'll still keep getting older. I mean, 20-year-olds are still going to keep coming around, but you, the individual who's trying to get that 20-year-old, you're still going to keep getting older and you'll still keep getting rejected. So you'll still keep giving Kevin your money to try and figure out why they just, don't want you.
You cannot ask for more when you are less. And you are less when you are older. You are less when you earn more money.
What?
Well, let me take that back. You are less when you're older, for sure. If you have children, that lowers your value.
Okay, ladies, don't have children. Kevin says not to. And I mean, if you break up or divorce or whatever, it ruins your value. And it doesn't matter if you love your children, it means you'll be worth less in the eyes of some man you haven't even met yet. So you really better not risk it, otherwise you might die old and alone. I mean, except for the kids.
At best, your money is neutralized.
Also, ladies, don't make too much money because it might, I don't know, emasculate a man you haven't even met yet.
You would be amazed to go through my videos the last 2 weeks, and I have women in here making $300,000
That sounds so nice.
who have a real problem with men making 50. But let's get real. Let's get very real. Roughly 4% of women, black women, earn 6 figures or more. So 4%. That means 96% of you make less. So we're not even going to really talk about those 4%, even though if you're in the 4%, if you're still average, you still can only ask what you could ask for when you were younger. But let's talk about the women between the 50 and the 80% mark. The women who are making anywhere between $35,000 and $75,000. You women still want the same women that the high value men seekers want.
I think what he's trying to say here is that women who make less money still want men who make a lot of money, just like women who make a lot of money want men who make a lot of money.
And like it or not, you're going to have to compete. And your best chance at getting a man of means, a productive, competitive, successful man, a man that's going to be in a position to want to pay the bills and do those kind of things, is when you're under age 25.
My mom told me that I would need a man to help support me. And I'm really proud to have proven her wrong.
18 to 24.
I advise against this, but that should come as no surprise.
Really, 18 to 23.
What magical thing happens between 23 and 24 that makes a 24-year-old woman uneligible for whatever type of man she's wanting?
18 to 23 is your prime years. I know that triggers a lot of women because understand the women that it triggers. It triggers older women. It triggers women who have children. It triggers women who have let their fitness go. It triggers women who went out and got degree after degree after degree and promotion after promotion after promotion. But what they cannot dispute is they don't have a husband or a high value man or a man of value trying to marry them.
So I guess I should be triggered, but what I don't like about this whole thing is that he's, one, trying to convince women that they need a man, and the younger they settle down, the better, which I believe I noted why that's problematic earlier in this video that seems extremely long. And he's also promoting this toxic idea amongst men that older women are not worthy of respect because they have less value, and that they deserve younger women simply because they, as men, get better with age.
And for those who do happen to have one, is that really your choice? We can get into that. Let me leave that one alone because that's...
So is a high value man not a high value man? Or is he saying that at the advanced age of 35, any man that wants to marry you at that point is not a high value man? So are you sure that's your choice?
Look, ladies, just like the woman I uploaded last night, the woman talking about I'm a 10. When I told you're 6, what did she say? She tried to use every excuse in the book. She kept trying to throw out, well, I'm not a 10 because I'm dark. No, you're not a 10 because you're not a 10. You're not a 10 because regardless as to your skin tone, your facial structure, your features.
So humans, please stop rating each other on a scale of 1 to 10. And even more so, please stop rating yourselves. That is just really juvenile and embarrassing.
She says, I am 70 years old and I watch your content. Been following it for a while.
Why is a 70-year-old woman watching Kevin Samuels?
I know right now I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm working on me. But in a couple of years, I'll be ready to get back out there and date, and I will be out there looking for a provider man. This woman was 70, talking about in 2 years, she'd be ready to be a feminine companion to a provider male.
Is that not what he advocates for? A feminine companion for a provider man?
Think about what I said. A 72-year-old woman thinks she's going to find a man who's going to pay her bills.
And again, is that not what he advocates for? For a woman to find the high value provider protector man to take care of her.
Men don't even live there. 70, 18. Across the board, all these women want men who can pay the bills.
But earlier in the video, he said that men don't care if women can, pay their own way, and it's not something that makes a woman valuable to a man. So why would women that are into this sort of thing waste their time on education and promotions and so on, when what Kevin here is telling them to do is to get a high value man to take care of them? So this is the logical conclusion to that. As Kevin said, men don't tend to live that long, so now she needs to find a new provider. What is surprising about this?
That's almost 100%. There have been 3 women that I can think of who say they wouldn't care about a man's money. 3 women that have said it that I believe.
Okay, but someone has to make money. I mean, you can't just live on love in this world. And if you tell a woman, 18 to 23, focus on getting a man because this is your, prime time to do so, and she's focused on getting a man per instruction and not on her career, then yeah, she's going to want a man who makes more money because the money she makes probably won't be enough.
There have been women who've said it, but after further conversation, it come out, yeah, I really do want that. So if you're competing with women from 18 to 70.
So I'm not competing with someone who's 18 or 70 because if someone is into either of those, they're probably not going to be into me.
If you don't talk to men, you're in no position to talk about what men value.
Who doesn't talk to men? I have male friends, and I'm pretty sure none of them would say they value a woman's purity or womb, probably because none of them are very religious, and they're also over the age of 20. But I mean, if someone wants, I could ask. And I just do a little poll like, hey, do you guys value these things in women? Oh, those poor guys.
If your audience is not men, you're in no position to make judgments upon what men think.
Well, I'm sorry to say this, Kevin, but you're the one sitting there making men look bad.
If you don't dialogue with men, think about how ignorant this would be. You want to sell to a market that you're completely ignorant about. You don't ask the market what it wants. You don't do sampling, testing, surveying. You just drop a product out there and you think they're going to buy it and they don't buy it and you say something's wrong with the market. No.
Are we going back to that women are a commodity thing again? Because that's just gross.
Ladies, listen, the market is where men are, and men universally say that women do not gain value over time.
It seems we are. We get it, dude. You think women over 30 are worthless and should, I don't know, just crawl off into a corner and die?
That's the nicest way I can put it. But I could be wrong. I know some ladies are thinking, well, you're off base. But if you have something where you disagree, or you think I'm off, or you don't think I know what I'm talking about, you have a disagreement, you're more than welcome to come up.
So I absolutely have no problem believing there are men like this who agree with Kevin here. But they're also not someone I would market myself to because, well, obviously if they want someone who's 20, that is not me. And if someone truly only values youth and beauty, even if I was still 20, that would not be something I was into. I mean, granted, I might not realize that at 20, but eventually I probably would, and then I would end up divorced, and then I'd be one of those women at 30 who, has been divorced, and I'd be damaged goods, so either way, I would still be screwed. So it's a good thing I didn't take Kevin's advice, because at least now I get to live the life I want to, even if I'm alone.
I expect to have detractors. And the thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get information out to women so you can make better decisions, because what you're doing now is not working. It simply is not working. People telling you what you want to hear, pandering to you, it's not working. It's not working.
Is he trying to brainwash us?
Them telling you what you want to hear is not working. It's just like, don't listen to the big bad man. He's just saying that to hurt your heart and to dash your hopes. And let me also speak to you women who think you're a 10 no matter what anybody says. You're deluded. You can say that all you want to, and you can walk around with your 10 energy.
What's 10 energy?
But the world is what it is. The market decides.
I would say it's more people decide, who they want to date and what they want their relationship to look like and to include. But yeah, sure, the market.
Being a 10 on the inside, that's stupid. The world judges the outside. And it's foolish to sit around as a grown person telling people to walk around with and believe in the power of sunshine and fairy tales and you can manifest that in your life. That is negligent.
What's negligent is telling women they need to get married as soon as possible and telling men that they deserve young women no matter their age because, men just keep getting valuable over time, whereas women, they got to snap up the first man that looks their way. Also, this attitude is what leads to comments like this one that I found in his live chat where someone was advocating for girls to get married at 15 to 16. That is what this attitude brings.
Negligent and dangerous, in my opinion.
Someone please tell me what's dangerous about not getting married at 18.
So keep your mouth off me.
Oh, I definitely will. I'm too old for you and you are not my type. So that concludes this video. Final thoughts. He could really use an editor, and if he wants people to watch all his videos from beginning to end, he should consider making some that are not 2 hours long. I also didn't really care for making us sit there and wait while the likes and dislikes got up. I mean, the spinny thing is pretty cool, and I kind of want one for the cats now, but it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Anyway, looking at the comment that sent me here, I am not quite sure what conclusion I was supposed to draw from watching this video. Long story short, single women in their 30s or older, especially pretty, educated, and professional women, are only interested in a small minority of men who tend to prefer their younger counterparts who are still in their 20s. So maybe it's because I'm none of those things that are listed there. Maybe that's why I can't understand. But I feel that most people tend to date within their age group, and there's not an epidemic of 40-something professional women trying to get with 20-something professional men. I mean, I'm sure that has happened, but I don't think it's the rule. But a big part of these sorts of channels is taking one woman and acting as though she's the majority. So, and also, things change over time. Like what I wanted and hoped for in my 20s is different from what I want in my 30s, and I'm sure what I want in my 40s and 50s will also be different because people tend to change and evolve as they get older. Life does not stop at menopause, even if Kevin Samuels apparently thinks it does. And what is the small minority of men anyway? I don't think many women have such absurdly high standards that only a tiny amount of men can, reach them. And maybe if you're gorgeous and maybe then, but I think most actors tend to date other actors, so anyway, that is it for this video. I'm sure the like to dislike ratio is going to be great, and I'm going to get some really enjoyable comments, which will be fuel for my video that I maybe October. I want to do a video about the lovely comments I receive on these videos. So yeah, looking forward to adding some more to my collection. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!